All right, Deadheads, Ronnie Hayes here from MAP, and we got a couple things to discuss pertaining to Rick Grimes. Now, a few videos are going to be a little bit raw, the ones I want to get out today, news and breakdown ones and stuff like that, because I'm finalizing the lettering and sound effects and stuff like that, and the letter hacks for my comic Doomsday Kingdom. That releases tomorrow. It's probably going to be a release around 6 p.m.-ish. I wanted it for the morning, but the artist needs a little bit more time, and if I'm being honest, I need a little bit more time to make sure there's no errors and proofread the lettering and stuff. So keep an eye out for that. Issue 3 releases tomorrow digitally, and then pre-orders open. Check out the video and doomsdaykingdom.com if you want to order some of the old stock. We have limited quantities of issue 1 and 2. All right, now diving into this news about Rick Grimes. Greg Nicotero talked about his exit, and I think this is a nice little article for fans to read. There's some cool stuff in here. He goes on to say that we wanted to give his story a send-off that people would know that we were paying tribute to his journey, Nicotero told comicbook.com on the show's set. It was really important to us. Him and I worked a lot on that story. I grew up with the effing guy. I'm old. Everything that we've been through together, day one on set, I got to watch him blossom as an amazing actor. In fact, Nicotero's relationship with Lincoln includes his first time directing an episode, and this goes on to talk about how Nicotero was super nervous about directing his very first episode, and it was back in season 2, the episode where Dale died. I think it was Judge, Jury, and Executioner. And I even went back and skimmed through that episode, and I think it did a good job. That's one of the episodes that I think is underrated. I like the human interactions in season 2. I like it a lot. For me, it even makes up for what AMC was doing behind the scenes and sabotaging its own show. To this day, I still don't understand what they were doing. It's like, you guys had an amazing first season. Let's do more episodes, but strip the budget. None of it made sense. Anyhow, despite all that internal sabotage, that insanity, season 2 could have been a lot better, sure, story-wise and progression-wise, but I love the dialogue, I love the character interactions, and Nicotero goes on to talk about some of that here. He's like, dude, you'll be great, Nicotero recalls. He said, I'll be with you every step of the way, and every time I pointed the camera at him, I knew he was there. He's still there, and that's what I feel when I look through the camera. I'm getting a little emotional, but yeah. And that has got to be hard. He's been working with Andrew Lincoln since, the very beginning. They are the originals from the show, and then all this time, too. So he does talk about making this impactful for the fans. And a lot of fans are wondering if it's going to be a open-ended ending or a straight-up death. I think if it is truly the end, without a shadow of a doubt, then they're going to show it. There's no reason not to show him die on camera. But if they want to leave any sliver of hope that they can bring him back, and I kind of feel in a greedy way, if this is the end, give the closure to the fans. Don't Madison his death. Madison has one of those endings where you can say, oh yeah, that's a definite end, but in the same strength, you still have so many fans. Go look at the comments. There's so many fans that are talking about, when's Madison coming back? We didn't see her die. It's not confirmed. Even when I talk about it, I still get a dozen comments of people yelling at me saying, why are you saying it like she's definitely dead? Because they confirmed it. And then they'll tell me, well, maybe they're misleading us. You know what? I don't even know anymore. So it's possible. If they thought Madison can bring the ratings up, they would do whatever they needed to do to bring her back, as long as she wasn't killed on camera. Same thing with Andrew Lincoln. I think 2 years from now, 3 years from now, if they can whittle him down at all and bring him back, and if he doesn't have a definitive death on screen, I think they will try to do that, if they need it for the ratings. I don't put it past any network to pull that type of bullshit. Now, Andrew Lincoln has talked about returning. However, I see some websites making a big deal out of this, but it's to direct. And I think this is pretty cool. He would come back to only direct. At first I thought, well, you know what, if he's already coming back, because it says here, he's leaving because he has 2 young children, and I live in a very different country. I live in a different country, and they become less portable as they get older. It was that simple. It was time for me to come home. That's what Andrew Lincoln said about him leaving. And then down here it says that already in season 9, already, he's coming back. He says, I'm going back, says Lincoln. I'm going back to shadow a director, and my intention is to direct next year. Now, I think this is an awesome opportunity. I don't know the politics behind it as far as actors getting a chance to direct. The media makes it seem like a big deal. I thought that was just common. I figured it would just be common in Hollywood. You get a lot of people who are from screenwriting to acting to directing and whoop-de-whoop. And I just figured that was a common thing. But they make it seem like this isn't so common. So I think that's awesome that he would get to direct, especially on a set where he's so comfortable. He's worked with these people for so many years. That's got to be so much easier than just diving in a whole brand new project. So I think that is really cool. And I am interested to see what the show looks like with him directing an episode. They've had 2 other actors, one from The Walking Dead, which was Michael Cutlitz. He was Abraham. He directed an episode, and same thing with Fear the Walking Dead. Coleman Domingo, who plays Strand, he also directed an episode. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. Now keep in mind, I did have the initial thought, all right, you're telling us you left for your family, but you are already coming back. And then you're coming back again for season 10. But then in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, you know what, an episode only takes, 8 days? So that's very different than, being there the whole season. So I get it. If he's only coming in for 8 days, there's still that part of me that feels there's something else going on behind the scenes, man. Something else. Yeah, he wanted to go be with his family, but there's got to be something else. It just doesn't feel right. Anyway, so this is Rick, his exit, or a little tiny morsel from Greg Nicotero, and then his return in the director's chair, but not returning as a character. But I will say, if they do leave it open-ended, yeah, we can always count on some type of return down the line if they can make that happen, if they can make it work, and if they need it for ratings. I wouldn't put it past them. I'll put both of the links in the video description down below. And again, I apologize for the raw videos. It'll be like this a couple days just to get the comic out, just to get the website up to date, because I'll do the comic first and I'll update the website for Doomsday Kingdom. And then we'll be up to our regularly scheduled program. I have some other gameplay things. I believe they're already edited, so I could just put up some gameplay stuff in the meantime. But there's also a couple other news discussion videos I want to do that are a little bit raw, but just hang in with me there. That'll be the new process. When I got a lot going on, we'll do the raw ones raw and then keep it moving. Put your thoughts and opinions down in that comment box. I'm done talking. It's your turn.